Hey, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Chick Smooth. Glad you guys are enjoying the content. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, and hit that notification bell so you can know when I post. I post really often, about 4 times a day, alright? So, if you're enjoying this content, hit the Cash App if you want to donate, subscribe to my channel. Let's get right into this one.
And you could say that that's a misogynist opinion, but let's not call people names in here.
So if I may,
How's
because I've
your,
asked.
what kind
That
of
was a
opinion is it when
misogynistic opinion.
what
Yeah.
kind of
Okay.
opinion is it when we're justifying abuse? I don't get that. Doesn't make
Right,
sense.
right.
Thank you.
Exactly.
Never
Thank you.
okay.
I think that what we should do is just give him the opportunity to reassess that statement if he so chooses. Just because I understand where he was going with it, but to throw out a comment about, and that's why we hit y'all or whatever. Yeah, we just need
Oh,
to.
let me no wait.
But I
Let's
don't
just
think
give
he's
you the
That's why
opportunity
we
to
hit
clarify
y'all.
before we
I
all
didn't
bark
say
down.
that.
Allow him
don't
to
think
I
finish,
didn't say
please.
that's why we didn't
Allow
hit
him to
y'all.
finish, please.
I
Thank
didn't
you.
say that that's why we hit y'all. I simply said that's how confrontation happens. So I'm not here to be an angel in this. I don't indulge fighting women. I'm not abusive on women, anything like that. So don't, please, ladies, don't do that. I'm simply saying there's physical confrontation when it comes to a man seeing his woman in bed sucking another nigga's dicks. More than likely, you're going to smack the shit out of your girl. You know what I mean? And that's what happens in relationships every day. Not to mention nowadays, women are running niggas over, stabbing niggas, going fucking crazy nowadays on niggas that's cheating nowadays. Women are gangster as fuck now. And I know y'all know that.
Okay, and just to say, and just for that response, just to be very clear, that even though that is something that happens every day, it is not okay, and we are all
Correct.
we all
Thank
agree on
you,
that.
For
Bisha.
real.
I'm in agreement. I
Real
never
quick, I
said it
know I've
was
asked
okay. Like
probing.
smoking cigarettes is not
Oh,
okay. Drinking
okay.
is not okay.
Okay, wait, hold on, sir. We gave you some space. Don't run over me now.
Mm.
I know I've asked a few probing questions, but do you guys mind if I share my perspective real quick?
Go ahead, girl.
All right, cool. So I come from a standpoint of realizing how difficult it is to be conditioned for something like monogamy. And for those of you who aren't aware, I think Jason kind of brought it up about the first person who started marriage. The idea of marriage, as we understand it, particularly in the United States, was an actual Christian concept to support capitalism. It's why we're given these archetypes that are cis heteronormative norms to grow up, go to school, get a job, participate in consumerism, create a household, and continue the cycle. That road there don't hurt nothing. Okay. that being said, what is actually natural and primal, especially for us as people of color, when we had kingdoms, when we believed in bloodlines, when we believed in certain spiritual arcs that were important to how we moved around through the world. For instance, a tribal healer would have many lovers and never take a formal union, or would completely be asexual, right? Similarly, some of the things that we reject out of these norms are actually historically more honored, right? People who are polygamous, people who are two-spirited, or what we know as trans now, right? So the reason why I place this framework before I say my personal perspective is because I think that is important when we are deciding how we choose to look at things. Like, I find it very problematic to say to somebody that that's a double standard, when in reality, or that it's even disrespectful, because in reality you're basing those things on archetypes that have been taught to you, not necessarily what you feel. And this is not just for cheating and monogamy, this is also for women's reluctancy to explore their pleasure, or people's reluctancy to explore pleasure, not knowing, because they haven't experienced it, or were shamed, or grew up in religion, or what have you, that pleasure zones chemically in your body can unlock a lot of things for you that make you a healthier human being, right? So me personally, as a true alpha, I own that in all rights. I know that I attract the spectrum. And by the spectrum, I mean the spectrum of identity, sexual proclivity, and sexual preferences. My preferences lie in Black men, straight Black men. However, because I attract so much, I have had to open up my perspective to different things, as well as exploration for not just what I want, but what I need. Right. So because I'm more in thought leader spaces, because my gifting requires me to share myself and be a light in many different worlds, I know that when I'm looking for a partner, I need somebody who is not as heady and up in the clouds as me. I need somebody who's going to anchor me down and understand that if they give me freedom, it doesn't necessarily mean I'm always going to choose to do that. But knowing that I have that freedom is a form of love for me, even as a woman. Right. For instance, I've had conversations with partners that I want a hall pass in my prenup. And yes, I require the prenup. And here's why. It's not that I am choosing one day every year to cheat on my partner. And I choose the word partner very consciously instead of just husband. It means that should there come a time in forever that we are not growing in alignment with one another, and I might need to go explore some things, even and not limited to passion or lust for myself, to refine myself, to get back to my own center. I know that my partner loves me enough to give me that space. So I think when we're having conversations, we need to be aware of how much judgment is embedded in how we think and how we tell ourselves stories about ourselves, about the world around us, and about what's happening to us. I am done speaking.
May
Can
I
I add?
chime
I
in? This
felt
is
that.
Beauty.
Read.
May I
Can
chime
I,
in?
can I go after?
Okay. Like the issue that I'm having with this is the loyalty factor. I feel like a lot of men just say, hey, it's in our nature to cheat. This is what we do. This is how we were made. But at what point do men decide my loyalty for this woman that I love is more important than getting my dick wet because I see a pretty girl walking by? Like, that's the issue that I'm struggling with. And that's why I call it a double standard, because even if a woman was to sit her man down and say, hey, I want a hall pass here and there to do me, that man is not going to be with you. He's
That's
going to,
not true, baby. And
well,
Beauty,
it
let me
depends.
answer.
Okay,
Wait,
so I
wait.
Yeah,
can't
that's not true.
generalize
Can
it.
I just
Yes,
chime in
wait, wait,
before
wait,
I
wait.
I'm
answer?
I
not
was
Wait a
after. I
done.
minute.
was
Wait a
after.
I'm
minute.
not
Wait a
done.
minute.
Let her
Stay
Let
finish,
her
quiet.
finish.
please.
Let her finish.
Can I
Let her
please
finish.
Man, please
finish?
let
Let
her
her finish. Let
finish.
her finish. Let her finish. I'm after as well.
I'm not going to say that's all men, but most men are not going to deal with that. I'm sorry. I was in a previous conversation where almost every man in that room said if they found out a woman was cheating, they wouldn't be with her. So I highly doubt you can discuss having an open relationship with a man and he's going to stick around for that. No man wants their girl being pounded out by another
I don't
man.
know about that. I
Wait,
don't
but
know
real,
about
Okay,
wait,
that.
wait,
maybe
wait.
Hold
I'm
on. Hold on.
wrong,
Okay,
but
Hold
just
on.
let
Wait,
Hold
me
hold
on.
on,
Hey
beauty.
yo,
finish.
hey, hold
I'm
Maybe
going to
on.
I'm
go ahead and
wrong.
reset the room here. Hello, everybody. It's your
Yeah,
Clubhouse
reset this
Reset Queen.
bitch.
It's
Okay.
MJ. Welcome to the arcade, led by the game, Gigi, family, and friends, of course, where students of life gather to exchange knowledge on love, life, legacy, and art. We welcome you to mute your mics, or we will mute them for you. Please do not interrupt any speaker while they are speaking. Allow them to go ahead and express their point of view, their perspectives, and then we can chime in right after. When speaking, state your name so that we know who you are. Also, don't forget to follow today's moderators and whoever else has added value to your life, and smash that greenhouse button at the very top to follow. Go ahead.
All
Go
right,
ahead,
so I'll
beauty.
just finish what I was saying. I'll just finish what I was
Let her
saying
finish.
because I don't want to keep getting interrupted. But anyway, I have a question for the men. Like,
Please
at
state
what
your name.
point?
Please
My
state
name
your
is
name.
Beauty. At what point do you guys say like I'm loyal to this woman? Like, I'm not gonna cheat because I really fuck with her. I really love her. That's my heart. Like, do y'all ever come to a point
Cheating,
like that?
cheating,
We don't plan to
Wait,
cheating,
wait,
cheat. We're
wait,
not
cheating.
wait,
But
planning
look,
wait,
things.
wait,
cheating
wait.
doesn't have
Before the men,
anything
hold
to
on.
do. Like, why does cheating have to be make you disloyal? Like,
Thank you.
it's just
Loyalty to
Hold
not.
because
me
on.
is
you're
Wait,
not,
wait,
protecting
wait,
and
well,
wait.
providing.
I guess my question
But that
is,
doesn't mean
are
that I'm
you
not loyal
having,
to you
Wait, hold on,
because
beauty.
I'm
I
sorry.
step outside. It doesn't mean that I'm disloyal to you because I step outside of the union to lust another human being. That it doesn't mean that I'm disloyal. It just doesn't.
Wait,
Okay,
game.
I'm
Can I
gonna
just beauty,
respond
beauty,
and then I'm
beauty,
gonna shut up after
beauty,
this.
beauty, beauty?
Yes,
Really
love.
quickly, I need to point out something. And the reason why I was trying to interrupt you before is because this is a tendency that happens every time men and women, especially men and women of color, try to have these conversations. When we ask men's questions and they give us their honest answers, just as much as when they ask us questions and we give them our truth, it is reductive every time we don't accept it and then continue on in our beliefs. And the reason why I want to point that out is because you can't say, when we have asked them why they do it, what is the underlying, and we had 5 men very brilliantly and very clearly articulate several times in different ways, and even the brother who made it a problematic statement in a different way, say that just because I can, in the two things can exist. I can love and be loyal to a woman, and I can also have a physical lust that doesn't undermine that love and respect. So I don't think it's fair for dialogue's sake. I'm not telling you how to believe or how to look at the world, but for dialogue's sake, I don't think that it's fair when we undermine the answers that they give us. Does that make sense?
Thank you, Mia. I think that's how you say your name. I'm definitely not undermining anyone, and thank you for giving me clarity. However, I think where I'm misunderstanding is at do you have these conversations before you enter a relationship, or do you just cheat in the relationship when you feel like it? Because that's
Before.
cheating and that's disloyal.
I
You
think
don't
that look, let
understand
me answer
men.
this
She
for
don't
you. Look,
understand men.
nah, but let
Okay,
me
love,
answer.
I'm not
Look,
a
Some
look,
man.
men.
hey yo,
Hey,
hey
wait,
look,
wait, wait.
look,
Hey, let's
Not
look,
not
all
do
men
that.
are
hey
Let's
yo,
not do that.
synonymous
Let
look,
one
though.
person talk.
hey
Let
yo,
gang, go ahead,
check
bro.
it
Go ahead,
out.
bro.
Go ahead,
Look,
gang.
let me tell you something. We would love, right? In a perfect world, we would love that, love to have these conversations before, right? But because we come from a relationship that we didn't want to lose, that we weren't forthcoming with honesty and the information that would have gave that woman, a chance to make her decision based on if she wanted to deal with it or not, because we make a repetitive process out of going from woman to woman to woman with deception, lies, and all of that. We don't have these conversations in the beginning. What I've been doing personally with me and my entire gang, if you scroll up, you can see Mike, Paige, Leak, Fashawn. We all represent men. We all are men. We all didn't know each other out of months ago, and now we're, the best of friends. We are forging a different platform, a different view, and a different way to participate in relationships, not with just a significant other or intimate person or a woman, but friendships, family, son, kids. We are starting to be forthcoming with all the information on how we feel and how we want to exist in relationships. And so we're still in the process. Can I say that I was on that before I got on here with all and heard all of these different women's opinions and how they feel and how they were hurt and all of that? No, I didn't really give a fuck. I was thinking about me. But now that I'm on here, we are having these conversations and we are becoming better people, one person at a time. So now anybody that I deal with on any level, doesn't even have to be intimate, doesn't even have to be a woman. I'm talking about a friend, my brother, my cousin. Like I'm operating at my highest honesty and my highest transparency, and we're gonna have these conversations going forward. Were we as a male, you know what I'm saying, as men in general in the world, especially black men, were we doing this before? Absolutely fucking not. But that was based on the fact that I told you that we don't think that women can handle the truth, which is selfish. We don't want to lose the woman, which is selfish, and we want our cake, and we want to eat the fuck out of that too, and the next cake too, which is selfish. But we are disbanding those theories, that way of lifestyle, and at least affording the other person, whether intimate, whether woman or not, the opportunity to make a decision for themselves on their own journey from when we met to this fucking day right here.
Yo,
Can I ask a
sometimes guys can have a
question?
steak at home, but they still want a little hot dog.
Then that's your choice to leave.
What?
Can
Yeah.
I
So
ask a
Wow.
question?
I just
You
wanna say,
gotta
yeah.
go a little deeper
I
than
quick,
that,
yeah, hold
Shorty.
on.
I
Maybe
think
Hold on,
women
quickly.
feel the
Yeah,
same
right.
way
I just want
sometimes too.
listen quickly. I just want to say, yeah, the problem is a lot of adults in general don't know how to communicate, because at the end of the day, there's relationships built like that. There is some men that don't mind. Do you know what I'm saying? I know girls that have like two boyfriends and a girlfriend. You know what I'm saying? But that's because they're communicating. What the problem is when you get into a situation and you're deceiving the person you're getting with. You're telling them you want this, you want that, but your actions don't match your words. So it just boils down to communication. Like if people, like the game was just saying, were less selfish and self-centered and just open with what they truly want, there'd be an understanding. The disconnect comes when people are being deceitful. That's what I'm saying. There's a difference between monogamy and polygamy or whatever, and cheating. Cheating is different. Cheating is when you've both decided you're seeing each other exclusively and one person steps out. That makes no sense. Do you get what I'm saying? Cheating is different from having multiple sexual partners. Those are two different things. We keep throwing them together like it's the same thing. It's not the same thing. Let's be real, innit? One of them is deceitful. It's done behind someone's back. The other one is spoken about and it's expected. And that's where the disconnect comes. So it's about, are you ready to communicate and be an adult, or are you going to be childish and be beating around the bush?
True.
Hey,
I
so
think that
that's true.
No
Amen.
one
That's
is
true.
willingly getting
That's
in
some real shit.
relationships to be cheated on. You know what I'm saying? This is Corey speaking. And Keisha said it best earlier. The greatest respect you can give somebody is having open communication and give somebody a choice. Who gets in relationships just to know that somebody's gonna get cheated on? If they with that, then they both have an understanding of, well, you're gonna do your thing and I'm gonna do my thing, and that's all right. You're not gonna get that unless you communicate. The greatest respect you can give somebody is to give them a choice, to have an opportunity to move around. And a lot of people aren't communicating in the beginning because they just in the sauce moving around. But then when it gets serious and somebody wants clarification, it becomes an issue. So us as individuals have to know, what are we getting into as individuals? And if we know we're going to get in a relationship, have that conversation to understand that who you are as a person and all your traits and your fleshful desires is going to be accepted by this other party. And a lot of times people are so selfish that they're not doing that because they just want to get the prize and they don't want to lose it, but they're not really building a good foundation. Me personally,
Facts.
anything founded off of fleshful desires and physicality ain't long-lasting longevity. So you got to ask yourself, what do you want? Do you want a
I
long-lasting
have a
relationship or
question.
do not?
Exactly.
Can I
and I
speak
want to
about the
speak
emotional aspect of
after that
things? Can I speak about
after
the
that Queen
emotional
speaks.
aspect? Can I
After
speak
that
to?
Queen speaks. Oh,
Oh,
go ahead,
sorry.
go ahead, go ahead, go ahead. I was
I
just letting
just
you know after Queen speaks. I'm going quick.
okay.
Meek is something else.
I'm Annie. And I've been
Before you
listening.
go ahead, Annie, who else wants to go right after Annie? I'm just going to go ahead and create a list
Can I
here.
speak
Can I
after?
go,
I have a
Danielle?
question.
Okay.
Imani.
I want to go
Okay.
MJ and
Okay.
Chaz.
So
Hey,
hold
just
on.
keep a 3-persons list. I hate those long lists. You know
All
what I'm
right. So
saying? We don't want to
Danielle,
get.
Imani, and who was it?
Chaz.
Chaz?
Yeah,
Okay.
I
Yeah.
have a question.
Chaz. Go
Okay.
ahead. We'll start with those three.